Welcome to free back pain classes. Struggling with back or body pain? You're in the right place. Here, we explore the transformative power of myofascial release and movement. Our classes are designed to help you find relief, improve your mobility, and enhance your overall well being. Please like and subscribe. You're on your way to feeling better.
Let's do our pranayama, a little breath control, get the mind under our control and the breath under our control. Just find the pelvic wall, pulling all that stuff down towards your feet when you take a breath in. Unbelievable. Love the breathing. Hope you guys are extending your breathing on a regular basis. Today we got some extended ball time. It's a weekend. It's a Saturday. Pretty exciting. Today we're going to do some feet and some calves. I hear the cheering out there right now. Ah, so good. And we're going to focus specifically on a specific, I can't even talk, but I'll try. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures too before we get started. So if you're around your camera and you want to see where I'm going to focus on a lot today. So let's see if we can see that for you guys. I hope that can be seen okay. So I love anatomy and it really helps me. So what I'm focusing on today, you can kind of see that a bit, is that yellowy red part. That's called our anterior tibialis, and that runs into the foot. And it is a very interesting little muscle tendon thing, and it has a massive effect on how our body feels. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of that today. Anterior tibs, so we're going to do a lot of this outside piece here on the calves, and we'll see if we can get the body feeling better. So a lot of times when the foot lets go and the calf lets go, the knee will release and the hip will move way better. So we're going to do some of that today. So it's important that you do some of this. If you feel like you want to go somewhere else today on your body, you can do that. But I'm going to be focusing on, and I'm going to do a little differently than today. So I'm going to really do a lot of the inside of my foot today. So if you want to follow me, please do. But you see where that anterior tib goes? So it goes a little bit. It goes here. And then runs all the way up and goes onto the outside, crosses over. And that one is a really sticky for a lot of people. Okay, so let's see, raise this up a little bit. Get some more height on that bad boy so you can see what we're doing here a little bit better. So we're gonna do the trifecta of the ball today. So we got a bunch of balls here. And I'm going to start with the purple, and I'm going to do my inside of my foot first. Well, beverage first, of course, but after that. Okay, so if you want to follow me, please do. If you don't want to follow me, please don't. But I'm going to do it this way, okay? So I'm going to come in here like so. Ding-a-ding-ding-ding-ding like that, about with this purple in here anyways, and then I come out here, and I'm gonna go and maybe do the red. And then depending on how all that goes, we'll see what we got left for the backs of the calves and everything. But you get this bad boy released, you really don't need much else, okay? So again, extended ball time this morning. Lots of breathing, lots of patience, lots of letting go. And again, this can be done in a few different ways, but I really like to do it like so. Get a bit better angle on the lighting for you there. That's probably better. And we don't need tons of pressure, okay? Just enough to loosen this bad boy up a little bit. You might want to even be a greeny green in here. But again, be careful. These are tendons, they're not muscles. So they might not feel too much, but they might feel a lot depending on your body. Everybody's different. I would go into green in there, see how that feels. Just big breath in, big breath out. Use that other foot if you need a little more pressure in there. There we go. That's good. Just like so. I got a little foot crossover. We will stand and do some of the feet too, but I really want to do this part first. And it might not feel much at first, but as it starts, you might notice it to feel a little bit sore. Back up a little bit so you can see that ball even better. Okay, so that's, and I just taken the other foot and put it on top just because I need a little more pressure, but you might not need. You can lay right down too as well. This is like a go back to sleep session, but don't go back to sleep session. Saturday morning, smoky smoke. Hope it's not too smoky where you guys are. Really feel bad for the people down south in California and Oregon, Washington, losing all their trees and forests and all the other things that go along with that, even some houses, and some people have lost their lives, I think. And yeah, fire is tough, man. We've had lots of fires here in BC, so we do understand what that's like. But when the smoke gets going, oh, there we go, right up inside by that, so into the big toe area, just underneath it on that side. Oh, so nice. Like I said, just might take a minute or so for the tendon to start to let go a tiny little bit, and then that will allow it to have a little bit more feeling in it. So, we talk a lot about the big toes and how important the big toe is. And the big toe is really important because of this anterior tibialis muscle and tendon. So that's why, because it runs all the way up into the knee and it'll rotate massively your leg and it'll rotate the foot out, which is what we see a lot, right? We get lots of extended hips that are turned out and walk like little ducks. Breathe in, breathe out. So just be patient with me today. If you're going and doing something else on your body, some psoas or some hip flexors or glutes, that's awesome too. Again, you are the master of your body. You just might not know it. And if you do know it, then you choose what works best for your body on a daily basis. Every day's different. Big breath. Oh yeah, feeling good. Going right inside the heel there, right underneath the ankle. And so the fascia gets stuck on the ankles a lot. And the ankles will lock, the ankle bones will lock the knee. Yeah, I know. I've been working on a lot of feet these days. Yeah, so sometimes when you come in, you get some hard cases. I work on their feet, especially if their hips aren't letting go. This is somewhat new to me, actually, over the last couple of years. I never really understood the impact that the feet had on the pelvis, because my feet aren't super bad. I've always been very fortunate to have very good feet and knees. Back's been terrible, but feet usually good. Knees, until my last hike, never had a knee problem. It's just because the fascia on the feet are changing, so it changes the rotation of the knee, and the knee didn't like it very much. Big breath. So we're almost 5 minutes on the inside of this leg now, on the inside of this foot. I'm going to be here for another 30 seconds. And then I'm going to switch to the outside of that calf. And again, if you're following me, great. If you're not, that's great too. And I hope you're feeling good today. Lots of stuff going on our planet these days, so make sure you get some time to spend for yourself, or you might find that you become a little bit fearful, a little bit scared. Just take care of yourself and your family. Big breath. Oh yeah, look at that little one. That's a good one. Oh, so great. Okay, I'm gonna move. Now I'm gonna do the outside. Same leg. And again, be careful. This might really, really be sore or tender, but you got a choice here. You got red or you got green, or if it's really sore, you can go right up into the purple. The purple, just, they're all the same density. It just gives you the volume. So, you know, we're on little muscles, so we need little balls, basically. Big breath. Oh, there it is. So it's about halfway up, where this bad boy, it'll gonna start to come around. You're not gonna be able to do too much on this bone, but you can do all around the outside. And we're gonna go all the way up to the knee, okay? I find this to be the easiest way. You can be sitting as well, and if you need more, you can double stack the knees. I don't think you're gonna need more. It's gonna stay in here and just open this side of this up. Breathe. Oh, that's so nice. It's called the anterior or the front tibialis. There's a rear too as well. And tibialis means that it's just on the tibia, which is that bone on the outside. The tibia and the fibula. Big breath. We got a little joint back there. That joint should move at the back of the knee, and for most people, it doesn't. Ooh, baby. Again, it's good to move around at first, especially on this one, just to find out where you might feel a little bit tight. You're going up into the bone, maybe on the outside of the knee. Maybe I'm going to get to this red one pretty soon here. I'm looking at it. It's staring at me. Because I'm pretty good here today. I think if you remember last time I did this, this guy was really sore. Breathe. Toes can move, ankles can move. So the job of the anterior tib is to pull the toe up towards your head. So when we're sitting, we've learned before that the ankles, the fronts of the ankles, anterior tibialis, work with the hip flexors. So when your hip flexors are tight, especially when we're sitting all the time and our feet are actually compressed, the big toe, you can tell by just from me compressing, it's going to lift. So if you notice that you're walking around all the time, or you're sitting and your big toe is always flexed towards your knee, towards your head, you know you have an anterior tibialis contraction, chronic probably. And that will mess up your hip flexors, which, as we know, control the spine. So really want this guy to function properly. And I've found over, I could say in the last couple of years, I've been working on the feet. Didn't know hardly anything about the feet a few years ago. Just that we were walking on them, and I knew all the muscles and everything, but I didn't know what an effect that they had. And then I was like, oh, some of these people I can't fix by doing my normal stuff, so I got to try something else. So, yep. So we started working on the feet and the calves, and boy, that'll make a big difference. So if you find, especially your sacrum at your back bum here, and it can't release, and you find that you're working on it, do your feet. Dramatically will improve the flexibility and suppleness of your pelvis. Big breath. You might not feel this too much as far as effect go. I'm gonna switch I'm doing it, guys. I'm going to the red. Anybody else moving with me to the red? Ready, red, red. Be careful now. Be careful. You're going to feel this when you walk around today, all day. You might notice the heat. So I did someone's feet yesterday, and it's a person I've been working on for a while, and their body's actually very good, but the feet's still not perfect. So I did some feet on yesterday, and boy, the heat in the rest of their body increased dramatically. Oh, that's so good. Like dramatic. So I'm going down a little farther now. I'm going down into the spots where these spots are here really sensitive. So be careful again. These calves and the muscles in the front end, they actually get locked a lot of times on the bones. They're supposed to move and rotate. Okay, the ankle is supposed to move and rotate. Many times your ankle gets locked and stuck, which means that when you walk, instead of your ball in your hip bone moving, so you can just imagine, if you're watching me, your arm is like your leg, okay, so your hand is your foot, and the foot is going to rotate when I take a step, which means that ball is going to move. But if the foot doesn't rotate at all, then all that rotation is going to go into the ball of your pelvis. And if the ball isn't working and the foot's not rotating, guess where that stuff's going to go to? It goes right to your low back. So then we begin to walk like little ducks, right? Instead of actually having some good rotation in our body, we're just daffy ducking it around all day, which is, not really healthy for the spine. So, Daffy was a great little cartoon and all, but we don't be walking like Daffy. Big breaths, yeah. So we're still busting this anterior tib up, if you're with me. I'm going to be here for a couple more minutes probably, and then I'm going to go and do the bottoms of the feet. I'm going to be standing. And if you don't have the trifecta, the purple, the green, and the red, we are shipping for free still. So, but you got to buy the set for me to ship it for free. Otherwise, you're going to lose money. We don't want to lose any money. Big breath. A lot of people are numb in this area too of their body because their big toes have been locked so long. I'm going to start to feel mine start to really open up now. So we're still going to be a little bit of time here. So if you need to go somewhere else, you need to do something else, you're like, Butler, why are we doing this? How come I'm not on my hip flexors? Go do your hip flexors. Go do what you need. This will dramatically impact your body, though, if you do the anterior tip. And that's why we're doing it. A little bit of movement. Maybe a little turn on the front there. Oh, yeah. Got a double stack going on right now. A little double stack of pancakes at the IHOP this morning. I mean, a double stack of pancakes would be good, but not at the IHOP. Real good pancakes. My buddy was telling me he was cooking pancakes on the grill on his barbecue a couple weeks ago. I'm like, how do you do that? He goes, oh, I got this special grill. Making some pancakes on the grill. That might be fun too. Woo, baby. So I got a little roll in the front now. You see my foot's turned. That red ball is just on the inside, well, actually the outside of my shin. And it is feeling groovy, if you know what I'm saying. Bad boy. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So we are at 14 minutes already on this anterior tip. We are going to be here at least another 5, okay? So again, if you're feeling a little impatient today, or you want to get somewhere else, you go ahead. But I guarantee if you stick with me, you're going to feel different today. Different today. Yeah, lots going on those outside muscles. Let's have another look at them. So much. So the app I use is the Essential Anatomy 5 app, which I really love. I find it to be super, super helpful. It's very easy. It's on the phone. It's on your mobile device. I don't think it have it on desktop though. Going up by the knee now. So there's my kneecap. I'm at just on the outside bottom. Okay, so really good area. And just around the corner there is the joints, also where the beautiful hamstrings come and attach. The hamstrings cross over the knee. And we did those the other day. Big, 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 big. How big? As big as you can get with the breathing. That's it right there. So that anterior tib, it grabs onto that bone, that knee bone. So we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, give it some joy. A little bit painful, but good. Not like super, super painful. Again, remember, too much pain, it means that the brain goes into fight or flight and the muscles won't relax. So we don't want to do too much. Right up by the knee here. I think I'm going to be about 2 more minutes on this anterior tip, then I'm going to stand up and do that. So that'll be just over about 15 minutes we spent on this. It seems like a long time, but you could probably do a little bit longer. Again, these muscles, they do get attached onto the bones a bit. They shorten and they kind of grasp on the bones, and sometimes they need to be pushed off the bones a bit. Ooh, got the double stack right there. Breathe. Joy to the world. Whew, okay. Ah, so good. So good. Let's just do a little bit of a thread the needle on that side. We're going to give some pressure to that anterior tip. Then I'm going to stand up. Okay, so just a little bit of this. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about this outside piece, and maybe you're moving your foot and we're pressurizing it, pushing it out a little bit. Very different. Eh? You might get a little bit of movement in the ankles. That's all good. They need to move. Big breath. Low back's on the ground. We're pushing away. We're breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Super awesome. Now we're going to stand. Okay, so when I'm going to do the foot here, so I've already done a fair bit of this already on the inside. A little bit. Okay, so I did this up part already. So what I'm going to go do, and on the foot release, is you want to really think about the heel. You want to think about the inside of the heel, because the actual, like, you get a little triangle of this fascia here is basically how this functions. Okay, so you're going to get a little bit of this heel here, and then you're going to get a little bit of this heel out here, and then you might go up to your toe in this area. And of course, you can always do all of these here. There's so much to do on the feet. Like, if you look at a picture of the feet and all of the tendons and all the way they run, it's dramatic. There's lots going on here. Okay, so Let's stand up. If you feel you want to stand up, you don't have to stand up. You can go and do something else. But here we are. We're going on the corner edge of the heel. And we can put as much pressure, just be careful, but we can put a lot of pressure on here. Big breath. Even through the middle. Oh, that's a good area. Literally, the plantar fascia is what this area is called on the bottom. And you know, we've had a lot of talk about plantar fasciitis in our society and people running and all that and getting plantar fasciitis. And it's really because the hip flexors become tight. Yeah, I know, you're going to think that's crazy, but trust me, if you got plantar fasciitis, release your psoas muscle, and that plantar fasciitis will go away fairly rapidly. Oh, that feels good on the foot. Whoa. Just about halfway. Remember, I did the inside with the big ball, so this has released a fair bit. Now, this is actually a little muscle. This is not this a little muscle here. Okay, I don't know what it's called, but it's a little muscle that goes basically from the toe to the heel. But it gets really stuck, so it's not really a fascia, it's a muscle actually. There's a few muscles on the bottom of your feet. Big breath. If you ever get a foot rub on a regular basis, one of the nicest things you'll ever do. Little hand rubs and foot rubs. I think that's probably the only reason I ever wanted to go get a manicure pedicure, so I get my hands and feet rubbed. Big breath. Make my nails are beautiful. I do them myself. As you can tell, my manicure's been professionally done today. It's the Steve Butler House of Nails. As you can see, they're beautiful. Big breath. About 2 more minutes on the bottom of the foot here. But again, this is an area you can spend a lot of time on. I mean, we've been 20-25 minutes already just on one leg and one foot. Move the toes. How's your breathing? Oh, so funny. As you get deeper, like we said, the tissue opens up more. Well, I'm getting some goodness in the bottom of my foot right now. Big breath. We're here another 45 seconds and then we're going down to do the other anterior tibialis on the other side. Big breath. I tell you, it brings me a lot of joy for some reason when I do my feet. It's like, whoa, happy days. It's like the energy, like when I do my head almost, energy just rises so fast. Big breath. Here we go. Another 15 seconds or so. I know. You know me. Never want to get off the ball. Gonna find a way to do this big toe better. So maybe the next time we're gonna find a better way. Because the big toe is a tough one. Really is kind of have to be done with a hand normally. But there is a way. I will find it. Trust me. Next time. Okay. Back down. Oh, so nice. That one's so different. I feel a total release now on the outside of this quad too as well. I hope that is feeling good for you. We'll get a little beverage in again. And then we're going back to the anterior tib on the other side. I'm going to show you the picture again. So if you like anatomy, which I do, I'm a very visually oriented person. That's how I learn. Okay, here we go. So that was that muscle I was talking about on the bottom of the foot there. these are the muscles up here that we're going to attack again with the ball. Just to give you an idea what they look like. There's a lot of them. They're running on the outside of the shin, kind of on a little bit on the front too there as well. So it's just, we just want to unload all that stuff. You can see there's lots happening there. So if these outside here are really stuck, your body not going to function very well, okay? It's a massive movement, mechanism there. Let's call it a mechanism, okay? So good, so good. I'm going to do the inside of the foot again. So let's go do the inside of that foot again. I'm going to fix this a bit. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to take the big bad boy. No, I'm not. I'm going to take the green grass at home, and I'm going inside on that foot on the inside. It was where that anterior tib runs. Again, I'm not on that muscle. I'm just on the inside. We do double stack with the other foot like so. Put more pressure on. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Big breath. How's everybody doing? Give me the thumbs up. Give me the, oh my God, this really hurts. This is not fun. Let's not ever do this again. So that was half hour approximately on one leg. Yeah, I know. But you know, we do extended ball times in the weekend. And again, if you're really stuck in your body, you're brand new with us, you're going to have to do some extended ball times on your own. Honestly, 15 minutes. So when you first start, really doesn't cut it. I mean, we've got such a big body, such slots going on. Everything's all connected. So starting with the front, the chest, and the psoas, and the hip flexors first. And then this stuff afterwards. But it's good to learn. That's really important. Doing the feet. Once your feet go bad and they get stuck, especially as we start getting a bit older, this is when our health starts to depreciate. The energy, they say anyways, comes from the ground up into our bodies. So think about the feet being the guys like the energy rods basically of your body. And if they're not somewhat open, flexible, movable, you're going to miss a lot of that energy coming up into your body. And the flow, so we get a lot of older people come and see me, and the flow through their pelvis begins to shut down, which is really bad because then the heart rate goes up. So, because the body has to pump harder to get the blood to move up and down the legs. So as we get a little bit older, one of the things that we want is we want to have good feet. Yeah, really important. I mean, I've never been to war or anything, but you always hear stories of, the most important part is to take care of your feet. Don't let your feet get wet. Don't let your socks get wet. If you've ever been outside, done any long-term camping or anything, your feet are the number one most important thing. They get bad, you're done. That's it. You're in trouble. So we're taking care of the feet today. Yeah. If you guys got better ways to do this, you found some new things that work great on the feet, put them in the feet, let us know. That's why we're here. We're a little community trying to heal our bodies and our minds and our spirits or souls or whatever that is inside of us. Big breath. Woo, yeah, like I said, just takes a minute or two, then it'll start to open. At first, it can be so hard, you might not have a lot of feeling in it, and then it just starts to let go. Oh, that's good, right around that toe. Wow, so nice. Just going around the inside of that ankle, maybe right underneath it, right close to the heel. And again, spend a moment there, because you think, oh, that's good, nothing going on there, Steve. It's so good, it's all good. But trust me, it ain't good. Just get in there, dig it out, dig it in there, get in there, get in there, get in there. Spend a bit of time, big breath, maybe a little bit of movement. Yep, there it is. There it is. You'll find it. Breathe. Let go. Other foot. There we start now. Just starting to feel the whole flow going into the other leg there now. You watch when you walk around and move around today, especially if this anterior tib is let go a lot, you're going to be like, oh, my foot's moving. Big breath. Feel just a little bit of movement in my upper back from doing this. Yeah, on the opposite side. Pretty interesting, eh? So we have a lot of, discussion about reflexology and all the nerves terminating in the feet and the hands. And so just if you really want to understand that, just think that the inside is the inside, right? So anything on the inside basically is going to affect all the glands on the inside and all the organs on the inside. Anything on the outside of the feet, it's going to affect more of the outside. The top of the feet, that's more the head. The bottom of the feet, that's more the bum and the legs. Yeah, so it just kind of gives you a kind of an overview. Remember I talked about how we have 5 fingers and 5 toes. And basically all the muscles line up on the same, lines, basically. Inside line, outside line, we like to call it. But they're not perfect. But it gives you a pretty good idea of how things are really moving and operating. I'm going right to the ready, red. And I'm going to start this time. I'm going to start up at the knee. I'm down on the bottom of the knee. So on the bottom outside. Right where that anterior tib. Remember, it comes from here. The toe comes in, rolls around, comes all the way out to the outside of the knee. And what happens if it shortens? So just think, if it's from here to here, and it's a rotator, and it's shortening, what's going to happen? Your big toe is going to be pulled up, and your foot's going to be rotated out, which then is going to rotate the ball in the socket out, which then is going to impede the progress and the movement of your low back. So yeah, a huge amount of issue with the feet. So make sure your feet are working pretty good. Okie dokie. So this also, there is a bit of a tendon that goes all the way to the outside of the foot too as well. So lots going on here. Big breath. Oh, such a good one. You can also do the greeny green ball here if this is too much on the ready, red. But for me, it feels great. Not a lot of pain, but I can just feel it letting go and opening up. And again, we don't want to stop the breathing, so if it's too much and you breathe through your mouth or your gasp, then the body goes into fight or flight, and it's going to contract itself a little bit more. Our goal is to seduce the body to let go. Our body does not want to let go. It wants to stay in fight or flight. It is just a pattern that we've been born with. You're not going to get rid of it, but you can definitely lessen it to a great deal. Very interesting. We were talking about food, I don't know, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I had one of my doctors in yesterday. Well, a man I really respect. He's also a chemical engineer. And I was doing some work on him, and he had a sensor on I was just starting to rub his triceps, and he goes, Steve, I got this sensor here. And he goes, I go, what's it for? And he goes, well, it's for reading my blood sugar levels, Steve. And he goes, well, I'm not a diabetic or anything. He's almost retired as a doctor, but he's like a researcher, science guy. He's very intelligent, and we talk about stuff all the time. And I'm like, you got to slow down a little bit. I don't understand what you're talking about, but he's a brilliant man. Anyhow, yeah, I go, why are you doing this? You're all really healthy. He's older. He's in great shape. And he's like, Steve, I'm monitoring my blood sugar levels. He goes, because a stable blood sugar level is one of the biggest indicators of how fast you get old. Yeah, TG, just hear what I just said. Is the stabilization of your blood sugar level is determining how long you're going to live. Yeah, let's do that one more time. So how stable your blood sugar level is how long you're going to live. So if your blood sugar level is always up and down and you're eating a lot of high glycemic foods, if the insulin doesn't work very good in your body, if you, and what's really interesting, we had quite a long discussion on foods, on high glycemic foods and foods. Oh, I'm on the spot right now. I don't need the double stack. Right, that is my spot on this leg right there. It's a good one too. We were talking about how, like, high glycemic food is a food that when it goes into your body, it digests really fast. And that means that it raises your blood sugar really fast. So those will be things like really high glycemic fruits, for instance, will raise your blood sugar level. Pineapple will really raise your blood sugar level. Right? It doesn't mean they're bad necessarily. It just means that they're very high glycemic. But yeah, we were talking and he goes, well, Steve, just so you know, some of those foods aren't high glycemic for some people. And he goes, and it's really, everybody's so different. He's done lots of research on it. And he goes, everybody's so different. And so it's really important to read your blood sugar levels. He goes, it's attached right onto his phone nowadays that you can do this. It's pretty special. I got a lady actually who works for, I think, the Diabetic Association. She's been diabetic all her life. She has a pump. So we were talking about the blood sugar levels and how important maintaining your blood sugar level is, not only for your back pain, because we know if the blood sugar level drops, our body gets stressed. But not only that, it is the thing that is going to keep you alive longer. So what are we doing to maintain blood sugar levels? We eat every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. 5 small meals throughout the day. If you're up longer, maybe you're eating 6 small meals. If you're not staying up so long, you're only maybe eating 4 every couple hours. I'll tell you, this calf is so different. This is the calf the knee that I had the outside problem on. And this outside is way tighter than this other side. I should have started on this side. Like way tighter. They're like 2 different people. And that's why this outside tendon on this little toe has been tweaking for a little while. I told you that. So even me, my body's awesome. I don't really have a lot of pain in my body anymore. But we still got stuff to work on. So anyhow, today, think about your blood sugar levels. Think about how stable are they? How do you feel throughout the day? If your energy is going up and down all the time, maybe you want to think about stabilizing blood sugar level a little bit more. Also eating foods that have more fiber in it. Also eating more fat in your diet will stabilize your blood sugar level. It is the high glycemic carbohydrates like pasta. Not super great. I mean, I love pasta, don't get me wrong. Mac and cheese pretty much is one of my favorite things on the planet. But it's better because it has cheese in it, so lots of fat, more fat. And what I do when I make my Kraft dinner, I eat Kraft dinner, don't tell anybody. I was doing the Annie's for a while. It's so great, it's the organic one, but then it's like, double the price. And not that I'm on a budget, but does it really make that much of a difference, I wonder? So, and I love the KD, so I've been eating the KD. What I do with the Kraft dinner? You're going to hate me, guys. Steve's eat Kraft dinner. It's going all over the internet. What I do with the Kraft dinner is I cook it like normal. And then what I do is I add Udo's oil. Okay, my essential fatty acids, my omega-3s and 6s. Instead of putting butter or anything else in there, I add Udo's oil. So that gives me my good fats. Then I also add hemp seed. So I add about half a cup of hemp seed. That's a lot. But the hemp seed's really good for high in protein, so what I've done, I've turned KD into a gourmet blood sugar stabilizing feast. Yeah, you could, this one's so different than the other side. So if you guys are tight, this other side was like nothing. This is probably what you guys are feeling in this one. So if you got a ready, a greenie, whatever you're doing, I think we're probably not going to do a lot of movement today. I hope you're okay with that. We're doing the legs. I'll probably bust off a few postures later on today. I've been doing handstands. Those have been fun. Really changing my body just against the wall. I don't think I could even do one freestanding yet. I used to be able to. Big breath. Oh, so good. So stabilize your blood sugar. Add fat to your diet. I know. Oh, there it is. is. There's that anterior tib where it's going to just start crossing over to the inside of that leg. Inside of that ankle. Oh, that one hurts right there. Yep. That's the right there. That's the one sending the signal down to my outside of my toe. So I'm going to be here for a minute or two, or 3, or 4. Again, masters of your body. You find what you need to do. Breathe. So maybe it's a good time in this fall period to start stabilizing your blood sugar levels. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It just means that you have to add more fat to your diet. Don't eat lousy carbohydrates by themselves. You could still eat the lousy carbohydrate like the KD, but do something to it. Add some fat to it. Make it shine. Make it into the gourmet, macronutrient meal like I do. And it makes all the difference in the world. So you've actually turned a product that probably was not very good for your health into something that it's okay. Big breath. So I'm a big fan of hemp seed. Really high in protein, really high in essential fatty acid, kills all the parasites in your body, cleans your colon, stabilizes your blood sugar level. Tons of nutrition in the hemp seed. Breathe. Really good time to work on your breathing. Trying to get your breathing up to, 20, 30 seconds on the inhale. I know that seems almost undoable, but just day by day as the muscles become more, a little bit of movement, man, not one good. As the muscles become more supple, all the intercostal muscles between the ribs, and your breathing will increase dramatically. They are muscles. They do need to be taken to the gym. They do need some work. So learning how to get those muscles to work better by firing the pelvic wall, pulling everything down towards your feet, increasing the amount of oxygen in the body will really dramatically help your body, how you feel, your longevity. Again, have some patience this morning. This is very, very important. I can think of a few people right now who better be doing this with me because their bodies, their calves are horrible, their feet are horrible. How's the time? Pretty good. We'll leave 5 minutes maybe for some movement. Maybe not. Oh, goodness gracious. This should be the most stuck part of my whole body now. Everything else really works very well. Even that head's starting to open up. My head's starting to get screwed on properly, guys. Big breath. There we go, starting to open up now. So I'm not on the anterior tib anymore because it's crossed over here, but I'm on these outside muscles. And they dramatically are very, very, very sore. Very, very, very sore. Stuck, we might say. Good time for a beverage. What are you drinking this morning? What's your beverage of choice? course, mine's coffee in the mornings anyways. Maybe you got a beverage option, that'd be really good. I've tried a lot of different beverages trying to get off the coffee over the years. Never drank coffee as a kid, never drank coffee till I was 35 years old. I never did a lot of bad things until I was 35 years old. I don't know, I was quite a pristine young boy as far as my health goes. I really was very serious about my health when I was younger. Not a lot of garbage went into my body. I mean, I drank some alcohol, but that was it. My food was always very good. It's not always good now. I'm a bit of a chocolate fiend. But again, chocolate's high in fat, so it's not high glycemic. So even though it may not be the best thing on the planet for you, it is way better than just eating simple sugar. You know, anything that doesn't have any fat in it. Just put some fat in your bad food and it makes it good. Big breath. And I like Udo's oil. UDO. It's made by a fellow in Vancouver. His name is Dr. Udo Erasmus. And so I really like to buy local. And I know him. And he's very intelligent. If you want to read a good book, you can read his book. His book is called Fats That Heal and Fats That Kill. And it is a book that has changed the way that I think about the body. So it is one of those life changer books. Fats That Heal and Fats That Kill. So I am on the outside of my toe right now. And I'm on that tendon that has been giving me some problems. So we don't have to worry too much about the insides. If the outsides are releasing, the rest of the both, inside and outside of the foot are releasing, then we don't have to worry too much about the insides. Everything will just pretty much let go. But these guys on this outside, they can be very difficult for people. They can be really stuck. And remember we talked about the big toe, the little toes, how as we get older, they have a tendency to shut down because our legs turn out as our hip flexors shorten and our outsides of our legs shorten, and then our little toes don't work anymore. And the little toe's really important. So the outside part of your toe is actually working with your shoulders. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy. But your toe, your outside, your little toe, is your shoulder on that same side. What are you talking about, Steve? I don't understand. Yeah, you don't have to understand. Just believe me. So, you find you can't release your shoulder, do your toe. Wow, that bad boy's really starting to peak right now. I am it's talking to me a lot. I'm going to have fun with this one today. It's going to be, so when we unload things change. Don't be afraid of it. Sometimes they get a little bit more sore at first. These balls are very, very powerful. So go slow, be careful. In through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose. Where's your spot on your foot or your leg or your quad? Put it in the feed. Let me know. Maybe I can help you release it a little bit more. That is releasing this right now. Crazy. I did want to go for a bike ride today, but I'm not sure that that's going to happen with the smoke. Be careful out there. That smoke is bad. Smoke in your lungs are really bad. So when there's fires, people don't die because of the flames. You know that. They die because of the smoke. So that's the worst part, is the smoke, even for all the animals and everything. That's the smoke, the inhalation of the smoke. Got 5 minutes left. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to be 3 more minutes on this, and I'm going to stand for 2. And then we won't do a lot of movement. Won't do any movement today. So I am trying to think about a standing class, just so you know. So those of you who are a little more advanced, wants to learn some standing stuff, I'm just not sure how we're going to do it yet. One, videotaping it is not simple. Do a good job of it. You know, you've seen some people do standing yoga online, and they're like 20 miles away from you, and I just don't like that. So that's not how I will do it. But we'll figure it out. Took me a while to figure out the chest and all that, which we might just do tomorrow. So I think we might be doing some standing tomorrow. We'll see. But I think we're going to do the chest and the shoulders and the triceps on the door frame tomorrow. And again, that's an extended ball time on the weekends. So if you don't like the extended ball time on the weekends, go on to feed and find one of those other things that you do. There's lots of them in there now. And if you do like the extended ball times, give a thanks, give a clap, give a hallelujah. It really took a long time to explore my body with the balls. So when I first started, I did not know anything. Oh, that outside toe tendon. Well, it's want to open up, so it wants to start working, which is good. I think, as I told you, I don't know if you've been with me for a while. I remember I used to talk about how when I played hockey as a kid, I could only cross over on one side. I could only do things on one side. And I could never figure it out. So if you ever played hockey or figure skated or anything, you know, one of the drills we would do is we would go around those little red circles on the ice, right? And the one side I was brilliant at. I was actually a very good skater. But I couldn't cross over on the one side very well. Guess which side? This one. And I didn't understand it till much later in my life. As I was fixing my psoas, it was on this side for me. This is the left side. You might see it differently in your film depending on how your camera's sitting and everything. But on my left side, it never functioned very well. And it never, till I was, I don't know, even just a few years ago, I was really, my left side, ever since I was a little boy, has always been messed up. And now my left side's starting to operate really well. But here we're getting to some of the final frontier stuff on the left side. Crazy, eh? After 20 years of doing the ball, how we doing with for time? You know me, I yak all day long. I think it's time to stand, guys. I am going to be doing more of this today, just so you know. So as you guys leave, I'm going to come back down and I'm going to do this outside toe again. I'm probably going to do another 15, 20 minutes. I really need to do this. It's not bothering me when I walk around, but I know that it's affecting this knee and affecting this hip, and I want it to be right. So let's stand up. Let's do the bottom of this foot as well. Wow, the flow in my body's increased dramatically. Okay, so remember we got kind of four corners. We got the heel, right, on the outside, the heel on the inside, the toe and toe, and then we got the middle. So just give some pressure on that, whatever that feels good. You can also do this with a golf ball. I don't like a golf ball. I find a golf ball just to be a little too hard for me. Maybe my feet are a little tender, but I really like these bacular balls. They got a little bit of give to them. The small red ball, we never had this. This is a new design, a new fascia and tendon ball to get deeper into some of the tissues. You won't be able to do this, get deeper like this with the big bad boy purple. Maybe the green, but this needs a little bit more pinpoint accuracy to get into the feet and into the outside tibialis, as we definitely found out today. I'm not sure why I always choose that spot to stand in, that little creaky spot. And well, this is all pretty creaky. So it happens when you live in an old building, you get a creaky floor. But I love my old building. I love things that are old with character. Not a real fan of the new condos. I love character. Love new things, interesting things. I like new technology, that's about all. New phones, new computers, but I like old stuff. I like character. How are we doing with our time? We're almost done, aren't we? We are done. 30 more seconds on this, okay? And again, if you need to spend more time on the feet today, please do. If you got time, spend the time. If you don't got the time, then make the time maybe tomorrow or later on in the day. You can do these sitting as well, but they just don't get quite as much load on the ball that you might need. You might not need. Might be really sore and you just need a little bit. Again, go gentle. Don't upset the feet too much. Again, you got to walk on these bad boys all day. So go gentle. 20 more seconds. And we're going to Shavasanize ourselves. Oh, such a great spot. Okay. Okay, I'll stop now. On your back or standing Shavasana, whatever works well. You do the pranayama anywhere. I just like the unloading of the body. It just helps us to let go. Oh, body's so different than we started this morning.